Hello everyone. Today I want to make a video about what I want to see for the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Mainly about the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Series and everything onward, like things I want to continue seeing happening and things I hope to get to see fixed. So first of all, the first thing I want to see for the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Series is no new extra deck mechanic. Extra deck is already tight as it is, and we don't need another one. We have four different summoning mechanics for extra deck, and we have a limit of 15. We don't need another extra deck mechanic, unless if they decide to add more extra deck space, which I doubt. But I'm fine with something like a main deck mechanic, something like maybe a main deck version of Synchros, combined with like ritual elements, but without a ritual spell, but you have to add up the levels. Something like that could be fine. Or it could be like a counter mechanic, like imaginary gifts in Card 5 Vanguard, where you could like you summon a certain type of monster and then you get this type of counter. Any of those could work as long as it's not an extra deck mechanic. I'm fine as long as it's not extra deck. Next, I want to say the product release gap. Why is it that for Yu-Gi-Oh! For the TCG, why is it every time that there's a new product that's going to be released, it's always going to be like few weeks after the next booster set is released in Japan? Seriously, why can it not be just 1 or 2 months away? This was also a thing that bothered me from Arc 5, and I don't think it was happening in Sexil, but then it was like 2 months, but at least that's much better. Why is it suddenly like delayed for 3 months? Like 3 months after the booster set is out in Japan. And what's even worse is like things like manga promos or cards from like Link's Reigns pack, was it, if I remember correctly, for Japan? Those cards are not, or for some reason always get the worst delays, like 1 year delay. Like I was waiting for DDD, uh High King Executive Temjin, and Purplish Armageddon, and it only comes out like a year after, all the way at Soul Fusion. Why? Why not just put it in like the next boosters, the closest booster set it's gonna be released in? Especially when in Card 5 Vanguard, it's pretty much like a 1 month gap instead of like a 3 month gap, so it's much better. Especially those Link Frames pack. I'm still waiting for goddamn Gilgamesh and my Raid Raptor. Seriously, fix this gap. Next, and this is a little personal taste of mine, but please bring back higher rarity versions of cards in booster sets. Something like a Prismatic Secret Rare is fine, but if it's too hard to get, then what? I don't really see much of a point. I want it to be like a rarity that could be get that would be like 1 or 2 versions of that rarity per box. Like the idea of ultimate rares being higher rarity. As long as we have something like that, it would be fine, because I'm talking about this in a much more budget standpoint, I would say. It would actually lower the prices of cards than have that one version. Like I still remember Barrel Sword, $60 to $80 when it first came out. If there were an ultimate version of that, it would actually, in the same booster set, by the way, it would actually be many more people would probably get the ultimate rare version, and plus lowering the demand for the secret rare version, and plus it will give it extra chances for you to get, so it would lower the price down a little bit. It will probably go down to like 40 to 50 instead. At least it would be much cheaper, and it would not be as expensive. I mean, it doesn't matter if Ghost Rare is there or not, but then as long as there's like higher rarity versions, it would be fine. I do like the idea, and I'm gonna give this a positive note for the next one. The positive note is like I do like the idea that Konami did decide to make every product have at least a holo, so at least that's good. So then people could build up collections, and it will lower prices of cards, those higher rarity cards a bit. But then I also hate the fact that they decided to take out pretty much the highest rarity cards, well, highest rarities in the booster sets, like Ghost Rare. Although Ghost Rare doesn't really matter since those are always really hard to get. It's the ultimate rares that really should be brought back. And finally, I'm going to end it with something very much more positive. Continue the legacy support, although you could tone down a little bit of the protagonist support. and the dual monster support and the hero support. But other than that, I would say yes, continue making those legacy support. I actually love seeing those, especially things like Galaxy Photons. Even though I'm not playing it, I do like to see legacy support continue instead of like having those pretty much decks pretty much just sit there. I really do not. This is one thing I do have a problem with Konami when it comes to making archetypes and all that, is that they pretty much have like after like 3 sets of support, or after when like the Yu-Gi-Oh series is over, there's pretty much like no support for the deck left. So I'm glad that they've decided to make legacy support since Arc 5. So please continue doing that. I really want that to continue happening. But please, I want my Gilgamesh and more DDDs and more Raid Raptors. Thank you. So I hope you enjoy the video. I mean, I'm probably going to do a Cardfight Vanguard version of this next. I probably have a little more to say about Cardfight Vanguard. And then I thought about making a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns Easter egg type video where there's like every single reference from the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns show to every other Yu-Gi-Oh! Show, really. Everything that at least I notice. So very likely I'm going to be missing stuff. And then maybe I might do something like giving out my uh, thoughts after, probably in that same video, just a small as Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns as a whole. And then I thought about making my favorite duels, and then maybe duels I just want to see that I wish happened in Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns. So, yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching, and hope you subscribe or something.